There's Inara's extra turn. And here comes the boss killer. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Showtime Doctor. Hey, welcome to Future Proof number 3. So this one's going to be a doozy, and I was not able to research this as much as I wanted to, because in order to research it, you pretty much have to be in-game on the current either Chinese or Taiwan server, which I'm not going to be able to do in 2 weeks. Not to mention, it's very hard to find video of any of this, so anyone that's on those servers that knows more about this, please go ahead and fill out the comments with what you know as far as trying to help Global out. So this is something called the Tower of Adversity, and basically, it's going to be like our tower in the way that it has modifiers. You can see here, I'll zoom in a bit, it's like 25% reduction to side and back, basically. It has a translator. I translated this on Yandex Translate OCR. It's doing its best. Harm increased by 40 for alerts and counters. So alerts are usually those things people put up, and if you move, they hit you. And counterattacks, that should be pretty easy to distinguish there. But essentially, it's telling you that those are the modifiers for this dungeon. There are 3 different difficulties in this dungeon. The first one pretty much everyone can handle. The second one is really hard, and the third one's nigh impossible for free-to-play and basically well in Kraken territory. It's my job as an official creator, someone to help you guys, to get us to the point where we can do Tower of Adversity 3 and whatever the other tower is called, level 3. That's going to be my long-term goal for this channel. I've done it before in other games. This one's going to probably be exceptionally hard because obviously we had every race of Asian player try to do it, and generally Asian players are the best game players in the world, and they apparently have not done it. So it's a tall order, but it's one we're going to take on here. So this is what the screen looks like when you get here. I'm not sure exactly, like, you complete this one, you unlock this one. Not sure exactly how that's going to go, but we can go to this screen. Now this screen, this is showing you number 1 through number 4, the top placers and the characters that they used, as well as the scores they got. So you notice right away a lot of the characters are very similar, right? And I'll go through them. This is young Safiya. She's on every team. She's just ridiculous amount of damage. I don't know exactly what this event was, whether it was an AoE clear or a single target clear, because they do all types of things, like magic damage immune, physical damage immune, AoE only, single target only. There's all types of stuff like that, so you never know what they're going to throw at you. Safiya here, she's on 2 of the teams, and where you don't see her, you see Auguste, who becomes top tier damage dealer as far as bosses go. Gloria, we all know Gloria. This is Coco. Coco's eventually going to become top tier tank whenever she comes out. This is, I think it's like H-U-Y, Hui, probably has more letters to her name, but she has the strongest, a 60% physical debuff, physical defense debuff, so she has the strongest physical defense debuff in the game. Not out on release. Coco's not out on release. Safiya's probably out on release. Obviously Gloria is. Young Rui was not out on release, so I guess alternate, what I should call her. And then this is someone called... Tyre is... Let's see. He has something that's like damage share, because a lot of these bosses hit really hard, so he casts it on someone who's probably going to be Coco or whoever's tanking the boss at the time. And that person is going to be tanking the boss, and then he's going to be absorbing some of the damage with his own health, so that's why people take him. Plus he has a buff for speed and some other stuff that apparently makes him really good. So these are some of the units that as they come out, and of course we got a couple of them early. We do have Gloria, we do have Safiya. You're going to want to have, if we're going to successfully conquer level 3 of this tower, because Celian was basically telling me that there are some good epic units for it. I think Divine Grace was one, and Angel was one. Angel's a healer, Divine Grace is an archer, so those are 2 units you should be also building up as well. But in general, like the blue units and some of the yellow units, the guys just hit way too hard, and their modifiers and all the stuff that they build their stats on not as high as legendary characters. So if you want to get up in rank 2 and rank 3, it's going to be pretty much impossible because those guys get one shot. Not sure with damage share and stuff if we can eventually surpass that once we get enough gearing and stuff. But for now, at least on those servers, level 3 is basically the whales playground territory. So we're going to be working on that. But I want you guys to see just what units people use in order to get the top scores. And then we're going to come over here. This is the reward. So the way that this works is there are these things called signature weapons that are going to come out eventually, and I think it's going to take most of a year. Signature weapons are weapons tailor-built for certain characters. And I think Alternate Raiwa, she had an event on the other servers where hers came out for free. And everyone was kind of cheering it and lauding it, and then a month later, here comes a bunch more that don't come out for free, and people didn't know what to think about that, and we'll see, because we know it's coming eventually, so we'll just have to deal with that. But from what Celan was telling me, the top 70% of people who finish in the scores, so that means most effective way, fastest kill, most damage done, you got the best debuffs, you got the best buffs, etc. And it's going to be different combinations for every different tower of adversity that we're going to do as far as bosses. You need to get the top 70% in order to get yourself... I'm not sure if it's a signature weapon, like these things down here, or if it's just... This is the currency that you go to the shop to eventually purchase signature weapons. I do know that. And of course, there's Hope Luxites and whatever's in the chest, and whatever that is. But it's different depending on the Chinese server, because there's so many more Chinese players. It's top 100 as far as the top rewards, which probably going to go all to whales. That's just how it goes. On I think it was the Taiwan server, it was top 5. So we're kind of in the middle of that population range wise as global. But who knows what the player base is going to be, if there's going to be enough people playing in Australia and enough people playing yada yada. So we'll see. But hopefully it'll be like top 50, something like that. But so then after that, there's going to be the lower tiers. In order to get signature weapon, basically you got to finish in the top 70. I think the translation's got this kind of odd. That is going to include accounts that were abandoned. That is going to include like reroll accounts and that type of thing. So it's not hard to get something, but it's hard to get a lot of something, if that makes sense. So this is just something that's coming down the road. So I want you guys to be aware this is in-game content, okay? I'm not saying, you know, mortgage your property and go get Ruiwa early so you can have it. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying eventually you want to have these characters. So when you see their banners come up, Auguste, Wii, Tire rather, and Coco especially, you want these characters so you see how important they are, because I just showed you these are the characters that are kicking butt in all these places. Now I'm going to actually show you guys a couple of examples. Celan did provide us with a couple videos, so go ahead and show you guys that right now. Okay, so this video is going to show Fake Cal's boss killing talent, as well as show Safia's talent for tanking Dandelion in this particular tower event. You also see over there, I forget if that's Nono Will, I forget her actual name, but the archer with the really hard-hitting single target. Cole, and then Anan is there. Princess Guard's in the back, and I think that's Ida up there by the torch pit, so check this out. We'll watch it twice so you can see. But Celan was saying that because she can dodge, she really cuts his damage. I guess if he hits that, he might be able to one-shot most units, or at least one round. Ida, she's technically... I heard a lot of people call her second best buffer next to Gloria. Here's Anar's extra turn. And here comes the boss killer. So Fakeall's thing is, if he focuses an enemy at high level, he apparently just continuously does more damage to him. So he can actually be the top DPS damage dealer in a lot of these that don't have either immunity or Zillan was saying there's one where you can't hit a boss with any single target. It all has to be AoE. But in this case, you can do single target. That's why I tell you Anara's top tier. There you go. Okay, so in this video, what's going on? This is obviously one of the farming bosses, but you got Gloria. You got, this is Coco right next to the rock. She's going to eventually be top tier tank. That's Auguste, who's going to take over from Noongall, who's in the top there with the purple hair, as top tier DPS for most things. And then that's Faekal. All three of them can be boss killers on the in-game stuff. So it's no surprise that those units are all here, but let me just show you. So here's Auguste. There's some type of support skill from, I want to say it's Faekal, but it could be Noongall, who knows. And that's a boss 100 to 0. Play it one more time. There you have it. So these are some of the characters you should have long-term flag for eventual in-game content. Gonna be Coco right here. Eventually becomes top tier tank. Oma, she's got the hardest physical defense breaker at 60%. Auguste is gonna eventually take over from Noongall as top boss DPS. Safiya, I showed you her earlier. She's the one that could dodge Dandelion. I'm sure she has many other things to offer. Rawiwa, or excuse me, alternate Rawiwa, her name, dude. Anyways, she's just ridiculous damage. She can do AoE, she can do single target, great damage. Gloria, buffs, great support, probably the best support in the game. Decent deeps. And Ana, like I said, she gives you an extra turn, top tier healer, as well as puts out the bait Princess Guard. Hair, he has damage share, as well as lots of buffs. Beryl, especially her AoE damage and just ridiculous energy regen. Noongall, she's ranked this high on Cillian. She's usually not ranked this high normally. But if Noongall doesn't have an Inanna to give her that turn so that she's not charging her super boss attack for a turn, then Noongall will probably be down here at least tier 1.5. So, and then the rest of these units, there's Ida, who you saw earlier. And all these other units, you know, they're set up. But for the most part, there's a reason why a lot of these characters are up here. It's because in game, that's what they're doing. Early game might not be so great, but in game, that's what all of them are doing. So hopefully this is something to help you all out as far as long-term investment. Once again, don't mortgage your property or mortgage your time trying to get these characters right away in the game. There's still going to be an early game process to transition to level 31 on closed beta server. That took me about 5 days, so most of a week. That was me no lifing, so probably most casual players, a couple weeks at the most, and then you're gonna slog in that for who knows how long. I'm not even sure, but I would guess the better part of a month in order to get to level 60 and eventually end game. Probably more months actually, month and a half. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to share with you. I would love to have this more thoroughly researched, but I felt like I need to get this out there so that you guys can be aware that eventually this is what the game's going to be about. So that's why we future-proof. And of course, there's going to be a future to this as well, which means there'll be even more future-proofs down the line. So supposedly there's a unit that possibly outdoes Auguste in boss killer damage now. I think the caveat, though, was they needed their signature weapon, but I'll be investigating that for you as long as releasing more videos here for sort of Convallaria. So that's it. Yo, I'm Showtime Doctor, Showtime DR. You found my YouTube. Hit like and subscribe for the content. Thank y'all so much for your support. I'd just like to share real quick at the end of the video. I've hit 3/4 of my metrics on what I'm trying to get to. There's different ranks for different tiered rewards for content creators. So I'm 3/4 of the way to the top reward, and that could not happen without all of you. Everyone that's been subscribing, commenting, liking, well, thank you so much. I'm really humbled and appreciative. And like I say, I only play 2 gacha games. I only cover 1 gacha game. My other gacha game's another Eden. I don't cover that one because that one's ridiculous to try to cover. I'm covering this one. I take my job as a creator seriously, and I'm gonna do my best to help you all out. So that's the dark of it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.